Australia took a 1-0 series lead in Centurion after another destructive performance from their left-arm spearhead.
Pace intimidates.
What a good bumper that was.
Pace can get you to play at balls that you wouldn't play at normally.
Yes, little edge. Quick, too quick. Vicious. Johnson is the destroyer.
Pace can create problems in people's minds.
He's bowling. Johnson strikes. That's brilliant from Johnson.
Now the South Africans have to find an answer to Johnson's pace and hostility or face losing a series for the first time in 5 years. Yes, 2009 was the last time South Africa tasted series defeat, ironically at the hands of Australia on home soil. Welcome to highlights of day one of the second test from Port Elizabeth. Just 3 tests have been scheduled, so another win for the tourists at St George's Park will secure the trophy. The final test will be played in Cape Town before 3 2020s as the sides get ready for next month's World T20. Attention will be firmly fixed on the longest format over the next 5 days, though. This is a massive game for both of these sides. It was Graeme Smith who won the toss for the second time. This time, he decided to bat, though. 3 changes for his side. Ryan McLaren was out after being concussed by a Mitchell Johnson bouncer in Centurion. Alvaro Peterson had gastroenteritis and specialist spinner Robin Peterson was dropped. South Africa played 7 batsmen, so Dean Elgar in to open the batting, Quinton de Kock in at number 6 to make his debut, and Wayne Parnell replaced McLaren as the all-rounder. Australia, unsurprisingly, were unchanged. This is what happened in the morning session.
This is an intriguing first hour we're in for. South Africa very keen to respond to a significant defeat in the first test. Ryan Harris is going to have the first say.
3 slips in a gully, also a short leg. Nice, loud, aggressive call from Graeme Smith. There's an edge, and that hasn't carried.
It's interesting, Michael Clark's already made a field adjustment. He's made a judgment on this wicket that short leg is probably a redundant position because there's not the steep bounce, so the inside edge onto the pads is not going to be likely. So he's moved Alex Doolan into a catching mid-wicket position against that short leg, and as I speak there's another adjustment to the field, and David Warner's coming in to another catching position in on the leg side. So 2 catching mid-wickets after Clark's had 13 deliveries to make a judgment on this wicket.
I think the call that he wants to make is he going to find the outside edge is going to carry through to slip or gully, or because the wicket's slow and we've got a new ball in hand, do we want to bowl nice and straight at the stumps, try and make him play as many deliveries as possible? So he feels there's a better chance that it's going to go in that short wicket area than get excessive bounce, take the outside edge and go to gully.
The other thing he did, Tom, is he was literally a matter of feet away from Graeme Smith when he made that change, so the Smith realised the changes. There's an edge, and it's gone down to that vacant third-man position. That's the problem when you put a few guys in the game around the bat. There are going to be some areas, as you'd expect at this time of a test match, and Smith has got himself off the mark. Plays and misses of that one. He's going to find whatever seems available. Ryan Harris, that's his game. Positive, good shot, just in front of square. He's going to look to come back for the third, I'm sure. Yes, he does. So they're good stuff from the South African skipper. Australians like that one. Up goes the finger as well. They're starting to celebrate, the Australians. They picked up the first one, and as far as they're concerned, it's a massive wicket. It's the captain.
Quality bit of bowling here by Ryan Harris. They've had the field set in place, not giving much for Graeme Smith to work with. Goes across the line on this occasion, and the only doubt for Damasina would have been whether it had pitched in line or not. The finger goes up. Here we see it. He's trying to get that seam position to go across. Misses the front pad, hits him on the back pad. So that's pretty much as stone dead as you're going to get.
So confirmation from Hawkeye as to what was going to happen. Graeme Smith strides off for 9. South Africa lost their first. 10 for 1 it is. A little bit of movement back in towards the right-hander there.
Hashim Amla would have been watching up in the dressing room and he wouldn't have seen Mitchell Johnson swinging the delivery so far this morning. So as it was released, he was probably expecting it just to go across him. And it's just nipped back. It's a good piece of bowling this by Mitchell Johnson. There you can see it just straightens. Amla also been aware of the first delivery he received at Supersport Park, and maybe he might get a short pitch delivery first up.
I think the other point is that you can't read too much to what's happened so far with 2 left-handers at the crease. Different angle for the left armer to work towards a right-hander, looking to swing the ball back into his pads.
Big shot this time from the Australians. Again, it came back a fraction. Up goes the finger. Richard Ellingworth says that's out, but Hashim Amla has decided to stroll down to Dean Elgar and get some advice whether he should send that upstairs or not.
2 quality deliveries to Hashim Amla, and his first 2 that he's received so far this morning. He's not going to send it upstairs. He's accepting the decision, so it's a huge blow. South Africa are now 2 down. Hashim Amla has to go without adding any score to the scoreboard, and Mitchell Johnson, the catalyst of the first test match, has struck once again. Australia on top.
Wow, they are 2 massive wickets. Smith has gone, and now Amla's gone after facing just a couple of deliveries. Pitching in line, coming back a fraction, and that's why Dean Elgar said we don't need to send that one upstairs. Accepted by Hashim, turned around and marched smartly towards that change room. So his lean patch continues. He goes for 0. South Africa now 11 for 2.
Beautiful. Harris hits the pitch just back of the length. Batsman finds it very hard to be sure of his footwork. Am I back? Am I forward? Am I stuck on the crease? Yes, I'm stuck on the crease, but I've got to play the ball. And whoosh, it nips away. And then he has that ability to fire one full that nips back into the pads. He really is high class. He didn't shine in the way that he might have done. He admitted he was short of a gallop in the first innings at Supersport Park. This is much more like the Harris that has impressed Australia for a few years now. Good stroke. Quite important to get bat on ball when opportunities arrive. Hard as you are in your determination to survive, you have to be loose enough with your shoulders and your hands to look to score when the chance comes. It's 14 for 2. Elgar's off the mark. It's taken a long time. 20 balls. And that's timed quite perfectly by Faf du Plessis.
You have to take advantage of anything that's full. The slow nature of this pitch is not going to allow you to play through the line that easily. So once it's full, it's a lot easier to time it.
Right, Nathan Lyon coming to the attack very early for spin. It tells us a number of things. One of them is he'll rotate his seamers, but not in long spells. The other is that he's seen a little bit of seam movement out there, just a hint of it, and an old saying of Shane Warne's, if it seems, it spins. Full toss to start.
That's all the Australian seamers today, and you can see that the line is fairly straight. They discovered that quite early, that where they had to bowl. No pace, no serious bounce in this surface, and Michael Clarke adjusted his field accordingly.
Yes, he's done it again, Mikey, with the two on the leg side now. Short mid-wicket. He's also got a short extra cover, by the way. He's got a short square leg as well. Ball, beautiful. Look at that go off the seam.
This is what makes Peter Siddle dangerous. He's been angling the ball into Faf du Plessis, and suddenly this one just held its line, been away off the seam a little bit.
Well, that's a good shot.
Oh, wow, Gaz.
So, got so good that it's gone all the way.
Slog sweep, and he got this one right. Dean Elgar, it's only his second scoring shot.
A little too much towards leg stump on that occasion, and Faf du Plessis is particularly good in that area. 2 boundaries now from half volleys at leg stump. Well bowled. Siddle getting it up into almost exactly the same area, offering the carrot again, and managing this time to get the ball just hold a tad off the seam. Oh, maybe late swing actually, and Faf just a bit early on that shut face.
Dropping off the hands.
Very well played. A quick delivery, rising up over that off-stump region where a batsman is always going to be vulnerable, showing his bat or his gloves, but Elgar looking to ride it, drops his gloves out of the way and says, "You're not having a piece of that, you can take my shoulder instead." So some courage and some good technique from Elgar, knowing what is important, that is protecting his wicket.
Good nut, and well kept out. Quick too. 42 for 2. Well played. Shouts of catch it, but he got it away somewhat comfortably. He stands his ground. He's stood his ground, and no, he hasn't got him. Umpire says not out. Off the elbow. Be a bit sore, but he's still in. Good decision too. 46 for 2. There's another look at it. No, he's not trying to play it. That's going to be very sore. Thank goodness for that arm guard. Does it hit it? Yeah, it does. Just.
That hasn't carried to either wicketkeeper or slip. Haddon did the right thing. Going low is always much harder than waist high or anything higher than that, but it didn't make it to him. I wondered too, wow, I wonder if that had hit, whether there was a problem for Dean Elgar. By the reaction of Steve Smith, who backed the throw up, maybe.
Yeah, Dean Elgar had taken one of his gloves off, so changing the bat in his hands, as you can see there. Would have been a close call.
What? So he backed up, wandered down, and just lost concentration with his glove. Oh, good start from Haddin. Lovely footwork to make that possible. And Haddin not equal to that one that drifts down the leg side. It'll cost 4, and they'll hurt Brad Haddin.
Thanks.
Well, that was candy from kids, that over. 60 for 2. It's also a 50 partnership between this pair. Bit of a grind, 117 balls, but they've done exactly what they had to do. Take the sting out of the Australian attack. In the moments before lunch, du Plessis will be very wary of an error. Lions bowling it nice and slowly, giving it some air on occasions. Trying to get some revs on it, but the pitch isn't offering them a great deal, and really what matters is that they go into lunch unbeaten, which they do. The call is for lunch from umpire Kumar Messina.
A vital one for both sides as they attempted to secure the early initiative. After the break, we'll show you what happened.
Lovely shot, nice shot through the covers. That's nicely played by Elgar. He'll like that.
Ryan Harris put his hands on his head. They are still there. I think he was thinking to himself, that's wide, and there's every chance of him edging that ball. But he played it well.
Important as far as South Africa is concerned to keep going for the next hour after this break. These two guys have played very well, Elgar and Faf du Plessis. Nice contrast in bowling from Australia. Little paddle around the corner. He'll look to play the holding role at the moment. Well, Nathan Lyon, and does that so well, and then looks to get more attacking and more aggressive later on in the Test match.
Faf du Plessis realizing that he has to find some way of scoring. That was premeditated, of course.
He's whipped that away. Boundaries short here at Access St George's Park. Beautifully played. That is a fine stroke indeed.
And it's just timed. It's quick foot movement. He doesn't try and hit it too hard. He just places it over mid-wicket and all the way.
It's his natural game, trying to get down to the spinners whenever he can. That's a good drive. That's another good drive. Slightly overpitched that time and hammered through the offside for 4.
That certainly looked to me a much better shot than the one that went through the offside originally. Perhaps because it was straighter. So that meant he didn't have to push that right leg that far across the wicket, but straight down the wicket. That looked good. Looked very good.
Certainly doesn't mind going for that pull shot or the hook shot from time to time. Faf decided to abort that at the last minute after he remembered there's a couple of men back. Nice and fine, and that's going to run away for 4. That's exactly what Faf du Plessis was waiting for.
If I was Faf du Plessis, I'd be forgetting all about that pull or hook shot on this pitch. And that might sound contradictory because it's slow. But the hook or the pull shot with 2 men out is always going to be a risk. And at the moment, that's pretty much what the Australian pacemen are looking to do. Get him out with.
Now he tried to pull out of that one, Mike. He got enough bat on it and along the ground to man a deep backward square. It's all about Nathan Lyon making sure that he shares this workload, does his job by keeping one end nice and tight. Occasionally he'll flight the odd delivery, ask the odd question, but he knows he's not going to get any great turn out of this track at the moment, nor any great bounce. We'll get a few roughed up areas later in the Test. I'm sure if Mitchell Johnson continues to bowl quite a lot in this first innings, there'll be some patches for him to bowl into. Great control. Straight down the ground for 6.
That's good batting. Michael Clarke had the man in the mid-wicket region, a bit deeper than previously, but mid-off was normal mid-off. So instead of going towards the mid-wicket, look at the face of the bat. Straight down the wicket, straight over mid-on's head.
Big shot. It's a slower delivery, I think. Good luck stifling the bowler. He'll go up just about every time. There's the inside edge. There you go. Good pace. Well played too. Dropped the gloves and wore another one.
And he's prepared to do it and put his body on the line, which is good to see. Good, brave approach by Dean Elgar. Drops the gloves, plays it well, takes it on the shoulders. So when you do that, a short delivery will not get you out.
He's been hit on exactly that spot earlier in the innings as well.
Off the outside half, but all along the ground, and it'll go for 4 as well. Faf du Plessis one away from a half-century. South Africa up to 100, past it. 103 now on the board.
Ball played by Faf du Plessis, came off a thickies outside edge, but he was right over the top of that one.
I enjoyed the bowling as well. I don't disagree. He's played it really well, but Johnson's been feeding him out there, and he's left the ball alone and left the ball alone. He's found enough of the bat for the ball to go safely away for 4. But you can see Johnson's reaction was he nearly won that battle.
Wide.
He'll get to his half-century. His 3rd half-century in Test match cricket. He's got 300s as well. Much needed by South Africa. Well played. 107 for 2.
Good conversation here between the two of them. They're just reminding each other of job's half done. Still a lot of work to be done here.
Oh, in the air, and it's wide of Steve Smith. It'll go for 4. The 100 partnership comes up. Heart and mouth stuff.
And once again, that bowler's hands. This time it's Siddle go immediately to his head. He's bowling to a plan. The man is there to catch it if you don't keep it along the ground, but it's just wide of him.
That's well struck. Really good timing that by Dean Elgar. And he gets 4. And to finish the over, 8 off that. 115 for 2.
And sweet timing, even in slow motion. Way to get off Nelson. Hit it for 4.
What do you say, Smudge?
Off the edge, it'll go for 4 and bring up a half-century for Dean Elgar, who's gutsed it out from the start. He's played a worthwhile innings. He's played a good innings for South Africa. Applauded by Graham Smith and the rest of the change room. Must carry on. That's what he'll be thinking. But he's played well. South Africa 123 for 2 have gone well in that hour after lunch.
Yes! Caught a short leg. No issue. Round the wicket, a bit of spin, and an old-fashioned off-spinning trick has worked the oracle.
First delivery after the drinks break, finds the inside edge and caught his short leg. So a big blow for South Africa. Faf du Plessis been in some good touch. Unfortunately, he's found the edge of his bat found by Nathan Lyon, who's into the attack. He's got the ball to turn just a touch. We have a look at it here. Pitches, just straightens a bit. He closes the face, gets the inside edge onto his pad. Short legs in place. Comfortable catch for him. He actually moved down with the batsman. But the third South African wicket is down. Faf du Plessis has to go. He goes for 55. South Africa 1, 2, 3 for 3.
Oh, he dropped it. Not even a half chance, quarter chance. So hard did AB hit the ball.
This was given a tremendous smash. He's hit his hand hard, nearly deflected, hit umpire Illingworth. Have a look at this. De Villiers down the wicket, into the ground. The deflection nearly takes out Illingworth.
He did smash it into the ground. The Australians reacted like it was a missed chance. They're turning this into a tight little comedy, the pair of them. Just short of mid-on. The tension builds.
Yeah, he doesn't want Lyon to be able to string some dot balls together. He wants to take the attack to him. This time, AB de Villiers goes down the wicket. Looks to go airborne. Ball gets a bit full on him.
Might have to bowl that one again. Yes, there's a little bit of exercise for Richard Illingworth. That's a rarity these days.
Definitely.
Certainly not taking any risks at the moment. Just want to make sure that there's no incentive offered to the Australians. Test match that Mike and Robin Jackman were referring to briefly was West Indies against England at the Oval back in 1976. 14 wickets for the match. Michael Holding 8 for 92 and 6 for 57. Some of the finest stuff you'll ever see. Off the glove, and it's gone fine. A little bit of good fortune there. Might have been a bit of glove and a bit of bat involved as well. Ended up being a boundary, but he wasn't in total control of that, AB de Villiers.
This was a bit quicker than the rest of the over. And that is a serious change of pace. Got away with it.
Just top edge.
The element of surprise, though. There are 2 men out, but he hadn't been bowling too many short balls, and that's what you want to be doing. You don't want to be banging the ball into the pitch regularly, so that the batsman gets accustomed to seeing those short balls.
And that's a very good follow-up as well. And a follow-through from Mitchell Johnson, extended one, and the odd word ignored by AB. 138 for 3. Nicely played, punch into the ground, square on the offside. Line the chaser again, they'll just settle for a couple. Beautifully worked by AB.
I think AB de Villiers decided quite early when he saw that field on the onside that he was going to be working the ball in that direction. He jumped a long way across to his off stump. By the time that ball got to him, have a look at this. Lots of time to just push it out onto the onside. Look how far he gets. The stumps are behind him when he's playing that ball. His body actually outside the line of off stump.
Interesting you spotted that, Mikey, because Dean Elgar does something quite similar as well. He tends to bat on a roundabout off stump. So their trigger movements, their setups are good, these two. Sliding leg side.
Patton the giveaway here. He's racing off down there, so Peel gets stifled. Missing by a good stump and a half.
Slight hesitation. Safely home, Dean Elgar. Robin, I know we're a long way away from getting towards the second innings for both teams of this Test match, but what are your thoughts, knowing that Australia, on this surface and what we've seen so far, knowing that Australia have got a spinner and South Africa haven't got an out-and-out spinner, and they will be bowling fourth on this surface?
Well, they certainly hope they'll be bowling fourth, or they might be bowling. They might hope that they're bowling third, but sort of on day 4 and 5, depending on how it all pans out. I don't think it's an ideal situation in any form of the game to go into it without a specialist spin bowler. Where South Africa have struggled for a while now is finding someone who can be described as that and do the job that the captain wants him to do. And where Robbie Peterson seems to, he kind of wants to attack, but maybe Graham wants him to not allow Australia to score, which is quite difficult when Australia have already made up their mind they're going to attack you. So I don't know that South Africa have got too many other options than the way that they've gone now.
And negotiated by A.B. de Villiers. And that completes the second session. A session again where we've seen this track is certainly going to be a lot slower than what we saw at Supersport Park, and is slower than Supersport Park, and it's going to be hard work at times for the captains, also the bowlers, particularly the seamers on this surface. I think someone like Nathan Lyon is going to enjoy it at some stage when the bowlers follow through and provide a bit of rough for him to work with. But 81 runs scored in the session, run rate of under 3, so not spiking from that point of view, but good solid Test cricket.
So another attritional session, but a good one for South Africa. Faf du Plessis, the one man to go after a determined 55. He and Dean Elgar put on 112 for the third wicket, and the left-hander was still there on 61. That was hard work for Australia's bowlers, with very little happening either in the air or off the pitch. Nathan Lyon picked up the only wicket of the afternoon, and it was looking increasingly likely that he would have to bowl plenty of overs in this match. The score had moved on to 145 for 3 at tea. Coming up, highlights of the final session of the day.
Well, that's a little freshener from the tea break. Oh, that's good. Now that beat him really for pace. Again, that's getting the bat going where it doesn't want to go. That's well played. It was there because Johnson bowled it a touch too straight, so Elgar didn't have to go anywhere. But he still executed it nicely.
Yeah, we're not outside off stump. The problem with his foot movement is, well, it's of no significance. So he just times it straight back past Mitchell Johnson.
Way, thickish edge. Harris wins the moral battle, but the runs go to the batsman, A.B. de Villiers.
These were flying to slip at Supersport Park, where there was bounce and pace, and no such luck this time for Ryan Harris.
Just going down the leg side.
60 overs done. 30 overs left in the day's play. Weather and conditions permitting. 158 on the board, 3 wickets down. South Africa after winning the toss. Bowling change for Australia now from half drive into the field. Sees Peter Simmons to return to the attack.
There's a sign down there somewhere, and a guy's got a cartoon Mitchell Johnson, and it says, I think it says, who's not ranked #1? Yeah, who's #1? Not this guy. That guy. Dale Steyn. Stop by Rogers, a direct hit. Good cricket from Australia. Half stop by the bowler, full stop by Rogers at mid-on. And then Steve Smith at the stumps, ready for the return. And Dean Elgar just about up to it.
There's a few more modes of dismissal there. Run out at the non-strikers end. And he was back safe.
Villiers does, the beautiful hands that just open the blade.
And that's the skill of the man, the class he has. And when presented with a poor delivery or one that's just slightly over-pitched, he's able to find the gap by just opening the face of the bat. And he times it well enough as well.
And that's every bit as good. Maybe it's even better. Talk about threading it through them all.
Well, this is a change of pace from Siddle. Slightly off-pace delivery. It's normally about 130, mid-130s. This was 122, so he was trying to draw de Villiers into the drive, which he did, but it's just slightly over-pitched the delivery. Therefore, de Villiers could keep it to ground and control it and time it perfectly.
It's a brave leave. Only 2 leaves. A good 'un and a bad 'un.
That's a top shot. What timing. 4 runs to Dean Elgar.
Yeah, that's excellent. Not an easy stroke to play. The back foot drive and time to perfection.
The old and the young appreciating that shot from Dean Elgar. That was very, very good.
Nathan Lyon into the attack, back into the attack. 1 for 33 from his 14. He's the one who made the breakthrough. I think a wicket that Australia happily took and probably was unexpected. The way Duke, Australia, 50 partnership now with that single. Catch is the call, it's just short. Looking to force the pace, AB de Villiers. He kind of has been all the way through this innings. Amazing how it goes from one game to the next. Sublime he was in Centurion. He was willing that to get down. Shot. 4 runs.
Likes him square of the wicket on the offside. Dean Elgar, no third man in position. Picked the gap this time very well. Well executed late cut.
Oh, it's up in the air. It's going to be taken. Harris under it. Takes the catch. Looking to go over the top again. What a way to end it for Elgar. He played so well.
To lose patience is to lose the battle, and that's exactly what happened. Dean Elgar was well in control of this innings until he lost patience and concentration.
Yeah, you'd have to say he lost concentration here. That ball wasn't close enough to him to be playing the shot that he attempted. But that is the nature of this game on this pitch. Whoever loses concentration earliest goes. He goes for 83 though. Good knock. 181 for 4.
Yes. Just arrived. New arrival. He's on debut. Sean Pollock a little earlier joined the huddle and made the speech. There you go. Congratulations. What a moment it is to smiles all round, handshakes all round. I say congratulations, well done. Now down to business. Nervous at all, Quinton?
What is helping him at the moment is the breeze, because it's coming over his right shoulder, so he's getting drift away from the right-hander. Not really spinning it, but that's creating a little bit of dart.
Changing field slightly. Sweeper offside. A deep backward point.
This has been very good from Nathan Lyon. We know how good AB de Villiers is against spin bowling. Uses his feet, gets down to the pitch of the ball quite comfortably. Hasn't been able to do that here though. Hasn't been able to be too aggressive against Lyon.
If at all, Mikey. He's tried to get at him. He's used his feet a whole lot, but not been able to pierce that gap he's looking for.
That tactic works in the opposite direction as well though. Can get the bowler to just pitch a fraction too short as he did then you work him onto the onside. When he's thinking too much about you, he's coming down at him.
He's off the mark. Just a little short from Lyon, and Quinton de Kock pounces on it. Cut away for 4. 187 for 4.
Wow, that is an amazing shot. Whipped away on the leg side for 4. Went like a rocket.
Haven't been many loose deliveries from the Australian bowling lineup today. And this one just drifts down the leg side. Maybe de Villiers latches onto it, whips it through wicket, and he brings up his 7,000th test run.
Brilliant.
Very good to see when that goes up on the scoreboard and there's an announcement. It's good to see all the Australians just a short round of applause, just appreciating a milestone reached by their opposition. Excellent.
Oh, now that's turned considerably out of a little bit of a foot mark.
It has purchased, and this is day 1. Pitched in the foot holes, and that will assist the turn.
That's a long hop, and it's been smashed away for 4 very quickly indeed.
Yeah, loosener from Smith. And there's no way de Villiers is going to miss out on that opportunity. He struggled. All the South African batsmen have struggled really to get their timing going, to put away deliveries. So if you get one like this, drag down, short, de Villiers picks his spot, drags it across the leg side, and picks himself up a boundary.
Advances, hit that straight up in the air. Looks like he's thrown that away. On debut, the catch is taken. Simple catch has been taken. Smith introduced. The Australians will love the fact that this has happened. They've just given a bit of a part-timer these days a roll, and it's worked.
quite sure where he was trying to hit it. That's what's got me confused. Steve Smith gets his wicket. He's distraught, is Quinton de Kock. But where's he going with this? Oh, he just didn't get there, did he? Knew straight away. Dear oh dear.
Spare of thought for Moses Andriques too, just onto the field quickly as the 12th man and put under the pressure of having to take that catch. Quinton de Kock, he goes for 7 in his first test innings. South Africa now 200 for 5.
Actually just picked up Michael Clark through the stump mics. He's actually in the covers and he's just asking Brad Haddam what he thinks about the new ball. The general consensus was one more over and then they're going to have a go by the looks of it. There's Adrian Holtstock holding it.
He actually had a word with umpire Dalmasina too to say, what do you reckon? I don't know what the answer was, obviously.
We'll soon find out. It's all about how dark it is. If it's a little bit too dark and the umpires have told him that, the spinners will continue in operation.
That Shortman wicket is definitely in play. At Supersport Park, we saw de Villiers come down often and hit it to mid-on, deep mid-on, comfortably. There's been a good couple of occasions so far today where he's nipped down the wicket and just looked to nudge on the leg side, and the fielding's either been done by the bowler or Shortman wicket. So you can see the wicket is a bit slow and the timing's difficult to come by.
Where is it? It's in the gap. It's gone for 4. And it brings up 50 for AB de Villiers. Quite different, this one, from the one he got at Centurion. It's his 36th Test match 50. He's found a way to get there.
Yeah, it has not been easy. Michael Clark is having a chat there with the umpires because I think he wants to take the second new ball. And the umpires have probably told him, if you do, we'll be going off. And they are heading off.
So a decent end for Australia. They picked up the wickets of Elgar and de Kock towards the end of that session. The de Kock wicket particularly an added bonus with Steve Smith taking it. AB de Villiers still there though, 51 not out, and hope certainly lied with him as the sides headed into day 2. Nathan Lyon, the star of the show for Australia. Not too much help for him in the pitch, but he still picked up a couple of wickets and kept the runs down. Wickets also for Harris and Johnson and for Steve Smith. Another crucial day ahead for both sides as they look to seize the initiative. And the day 2 action starts on Friday, 8:25 in the morning on Sky Sports 2. We'll see you then.